got it.
What's good, YouTube? Welcome back to MANIACITV, man. Listen, it's been a very crazy, tragic weekend, man, as hip-hop is mourning the loss of King Von, man. Today, we got King Von's manager and we got DJ Akademiks now. So listen, King Von's manager, he was with him that night that he was murdered. He was also one of the people that was shot alongside King Von. I believe he was shot in the leg. He sat down with DJ Akademiks earlier today, did an interview pretty much explaining, everything that happened that night in Atlanta, man. So we ain't even gonna waste no time. We gonna focus in on this part of the interview though, where he went into detail of everything that happened that night, the events leading up to the shooting and everything, man. So we ain't even gonna waste no time. We gonna get into it right now here on Maniaci TV. Let's get it. King Von's manager speaks about what happened that night in Atlanta. Let's get it.
What happened, bro? So just I'm gonna go on a quick description of what happened that night, so y'all could really know what happened. We left Opium, which was his album release party. We're like, I think we're about 8-10 cars deep, 20-25 on Entourage. Everybody mind leaving the club is that we're going to the hotel and the Airbnb because that's normal routine. Yeah. The club he went to, the after hours, wasn't getting paid for. I didn't have no acknowledgement of. His team didn't have no acknowledgement of. That was a complete Von decision. And he had the right to make those decisions.
Hold on. So y'all left Opium and went to a different club,
which we didn't even know was going to act.
Okay, so the club that's in that security footage that's not Opium.
That's not Opium.
That's crazy. I thought because on King Von, the last story that he posted on his Instagram was that Opium thing where he was on the front of it and he said Atlanta tonight. So where all of this occurred at wasn't even they weren't even supposed to go to that club that night. That's crazy.
Oh, okay.
That's an after hour spot that we didn't even have no acknowledgement that we was going to.
Okay.
So really everybody jumped in the car. I drove to the club with Von in a Hellcat. So going out the club, he jumped into the bulletproof truck, and it was him and maybe two or three more individuals in the drive. So everybody else that was with us driving to the Airbnb or to the hotel, and Von literally went to the venue by himself. We got a call later from people in the car like, hey bro, we here by, matter of fact I think from his DJ was like, hey bro, we here by ourselves, like where you guys at? And everybody rerouted to that venue. So already confusions were already started, because normally if we got an after party or we got anything we're going to, we know as a team, everybody know to be on point. You know what I'm saying? We're traveling with a real deal gangster, real
gotta
stuff.
move together.
So everybody gonna know how to move. But from that night, I don't know what it was. Maybe it's God timing. I don't know what it was, but Von completely went on his own course that night.
So he didn't call no one saying, hey, yo, we going here. Maybe the message didn't get relayed?
No, he literally told his driver he's going to an after hour spot, and then we all caught up with him later.
That's crazy. I wonder why.
So by the time you guys get there, what's going on?
By the time we get there, he was still in the car. It was him.
So he didn't go in the club yet, or
no,
the spot. He didn't go to the spot.
Remember, he was in a bulletproof truck.
Okay.
So it wasn't no concern. He was at the venue before us. So we got there. When we got there, everybody jumped out the car, and we're like, okay, cool. We're thinking we're about to go in. And for some, like this is, I can't make this up. For some reason, Von wasn't himself. I'm not gonna lie. This is somebody who's more on point than security.
What's crazy though? A lot of people always say, you just get this bad feeling right before, something really bad is gonna happen to you. Right before your death. A lot of people actually say that you just not yourself leading up to it. It could be the same day. You just seem off. A lot of people kind of pass that off as like, oh yeah, I'm just having a bad day. But I mean, you got to think about it, man. I've seen a lot of posts. I've actually known a couple people, they've actually said it on Facebook or Twitter, and they're like, man, I just had a bad feeling that something about to happen. And when it ends up happening to him, man, that's crazy. So Von, it's almost like he kind of knew what was going on. Like he knew something was going to go down that night. His conscience was telling him, like
himself. I'm not gonna lie. This is somebody who's more on point than security. This somebody if I'm on the road with, I'm with him. Like, cause he know how to move. He know how to pick spots. Like, yo, this man is like, I promise you, the best artist I ever moved in my life, as far as knowing how to conduct himself properly.
And I bet Von does know that, because, you know, where you come from in Chicago, you know, O Block and everything, you really got to be on alert. You got to be on alert about all your surroundings and everything, man. Like, he ain't going to be out here, you know, just moving foolishly. Like, you know, he's got to be one of those artists, man. You know, he takes his street smarts and puts it into, you know, how he moves professionally, you know, in the music scene.
But for some reason that night, it was off. Like, he stayed in the car for like 35 minutes, and everybody outside is cold and it's shivering. Like, everybody outside wondering, like, what's going on? So people starting to go back in the cars. Like, all the entourage, everybody was with, they went back in the car. So I went to the car he was in. I was like, yo, Vaughn. Went inside the passenger seat. I'm like, yo, Vaughn, bro, what's going on? Like, you know, everybody here waiting, let's go. He was like, all right, let's go. So at that time, this is where the security come in at. At that time, we're telling security, hey, it's time to go in now. Vaughn's ready. You know what I'm saying? We've been here too long. Let's go inside the club. So they do their rounds. They go inside the club. They check the venue, go inside, check the outside, make sure there's no threat. Now, common sense, if you guys know, security, nobody cannot go inside a club with a weapon.
With a gun.
No matter who you is, you cannot enter a building with a weapon, especially a venue. So being alert that we're going into the club, all security put their weapon inside their cars, because we're thinking we're going inside the club. Now, right before we go inside the club, one of his homeboys came to the driver's side and they said, hey, we seen so-and-so. I'm not gonna say no names. We seen so-and-so in the car.
Quando.
And instantly,
in the car or in the spot?
No, we seen he literally, our car is right here.
Yeah.
And so-and-so put up right there. So you had one car, which is one car before. You had another car, which is our car right here. And you had other people parked, scattered everywhere else. And one of Von homeboys came to him and was like, hey, we seen so-and-so in the car. He's asleep. And he jumped up. I'm talking about like.
Wait. So the other dude was sleeping? Or or just like, just not aware type shit?
The other artist was sleeping.
So Quando Rondo was in the other car sleeping. So, I mean, so it goes to show, I mean, we know it was, you know, some animosity, some tension between Quando and, you know, Lil Reese, between Quando and a few Chicago artists, you know, and, you know, everybody was like, you know, OTF and NBA, you know, they never really seen eye to eye, you know, the subliminal diss and everything. I brought this up so many times before, man. So it was, you know, some issues there. I mean, but then again, you got to look at who rolls with who, man. You look at, you know, how close King Von and Sada Baby was. You know, Sada Baby, y'all remember I did the video months back where he, you know, he got an issue with the NBA gang. You know, you look at, man, who else? You know, with like T Grizzly. With T Grizzly, you know, Von, T Grizzly, you know, they hung out with each other. And what happened back in Florida, was it last year? It was that shootout with the NBA gang, with NBA YoungBoy security and everything. So, I mean, it's always been that tension's always been there, you know. And that night, I have to say, that was real bad timing, you know, for Quando to pull up and, you know, Von and them to be there at the same exact time. Let's continue though.
Where he just put up to the club. You know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna give nobody no name.
Yeah.
Whatever. He put up to the club, and I believe it was just him and his driver. That's what supposedly what it was. Him and his driver, and a McLaren or some type of car they had. So one of the guys spotted him, and they came to the car where me, Von, BJ, and a female, and one more person was in the car. And he came to the car and said, "Hey, so and so's here." And Von just jumped up like, "Oh, come on, let's go."
He was ready. He was on go.
With that reaction being so fast, we're like, "Hey, hold on, slow down." I'm like, "Hold on, what we about to do? Hold on, like we got jewelry on, all type of stuff. Hold on, bro." From that split second of his friend coming to tell him, Von was out the car, and this is somebody who's normally, like I said, calm, collective. Look around all the areas, just fill all the blanks, because he been out here, so he know what to do. For some reason that night he was completely off. He jumped out the car.
He didn't even think about it.
By the time Von jumped out the car, I don't even think he knew where so-and-so was. He just jumped out the car. He bumped into so-and-so. As soon as he bumped into so-and-so, started brawling. From that 1.5 second of brawling one of his so-and-so accomplice came through the side of a white car that we didn't even know
that was a white truck in that video
with so-and-so. That's how unaware the situation was.
Yeah.
Came out the car from the side, like y'all can see on the camera, and shot Vaughn and me 4 times.
Man, that's crazy, because it's like, it goes to show like how quick a situation can change. King Von, a lot of people say he was the aggressor in this situation. So he went up to Quando, he bumped into Quando, they start brawling. Von, they trying to fight. So Von's other person, the one that they arrested, Quando's person, the one that they arrested, came out of nowhere, out of the white truck that y'all seen in the video, and shot Von that quick, that fast. Everything just happened that fast. That's crazy. You in the car chilling 1 second, your homeboy come up to the window. Oh, we see Quando over here. Quando here. Von just hop out, go out the car, charge into him. They start fighting. Boom, just like that. That's crazy, man. That's crazy.
I think he let 4 or 5 shots off. Von got hit 3 or 4 times. I got hit in the leg. Started bleeding. Went for cover. He was down.
Are you on that security footage too?
Yes.
Okay.
I'm the one that's moving as the altercation happening. I'm the one that's right by him, moving back. When the guy came and shot him, I was the one that was right by him. That's when the bullet hit me. So it was God grace that I didn't get shot nowhere else but my leg.
So like in helping, because I think people are looking at the social media, and what you're talking about, like, people that weren't there speculating. Some people online saying, "Yo, what happened is all the guys left them. They just left them out there."
So many people were saying
like Von's last words were like, "Yo, listen, y'all let him get up on me like this."
That's what they said. Asian Dow said she spoke to him from the other side and all this stuff, man. But she wasn't there that night, though. She wasn't there that night, so she wouldn't know what his last words were.
Von's last words were like, "Yo, listen, y'all let him get up on me like this," that type of stuff.
I'm gonna clarify all that. That's false. First of all, the only people that knew what was about to happen. And you got to remember, when I say knew what was about to happen, I'm not talking about 5-10 minutes resonating what's going on. I'm talking about 1.5 seconds.
Those couple seconds.
His homeboy coming to the car where it's me in the passenger side, one more person in the driver's side, I believe was his DJ, him in the back with a female, and one more of the guys sitting by the side that I just called in previously to come smoke, because it was cold outside. I'm like, yo, come in, let's smoke right quick, because I don't think you're ready to go in. So from that 1.5 second jumped out, that situation happened. Security didn't know what was going on. Half of the guys that y'all blaming didn't know what's going on. By the time everybody realized what's going, if you peep at the footage, Von and his one security is the only one that's by Quando physically. Everybody else is in the back. Why do you think it's a back trailing? Nobody even got a check. They're running to the scene. By the time they were running to the scene, shots fired. And then not only, nobody was running from the shooter that shot Von. Because y'all could clearly see that once he shot Von, everybody moved back. People were still there. It's the police that started shooting.
And that's where everybody caught the whole thing, that the police was the ones that shot Von, that killed Von and all that. No, everybody was scattering from the police, because they probably, knowing how crooked these cops are, when they go to a spot, especially in Atlanta, where they see a whole bunch of black people and everything, they just gonna come up there. They ain't gonna be like, hey, this is officer, everybody freeze. No, they just gonna go up there, go blindly shooting everybody, man. So everybody was, from what his manager is saying, they all spread out from the police shots. The police probably didn't even make their presence known. They probably just started busting.
Controllably.
It looked like that person got shot too. This was also confusing, right? So when Von is shot, and he's whatever, people are saying that whoever was trying to take his chain off or something, because it looked like he was being held up a bit, and then
people
somebody
saying that was
punched
Quando.
that person.
Von was shielding himself with so-and-so. He
even said it. So he was shielding himself with Quando Rondo. So what was the video that people are saying where Quando was like, man, big bro, breathe. Come on, get up. Like, was that Quando and King Von, or was that Quando and one of his homies, though?
Him up. That's how strong he was. Even while being shot, he know what's going on. He felt it, because he was conscious the whole time. So he's holding the individual.
He's holding Quando as a shield.
It wasn't nothing as like, you know, he got on top of him, no, he was literally holding him as a shield. And those shots that was fired by the individual that shot Vaughn and myself was the only shots fired from those individuals.
The rest was from the cops.
Was coming from authorities.
Like I said,
started shooting everywhere. It was like a blanket full of shots going on. So when you see everybody taking cover, they wasn't taking cover away from the shooter from Vaughn. They were taking cover because they didn't know where the shots was going from. If you look, people was running left, people was running right, people was running to the club door because we didn't know where shots was coming from. Right? You got the police shooting anybody with a weapon that they got killed. If you got a weapon that they on you, you got shot. That's how much shots was getting rained. So you guys are looking from the one angle of the camera and looking like, oh damn, they run away from the shot. And wasn't nobody running away from no. Listen, bro, we didn't know where all the shots was coming from. So it's automatic. If you don't know where the shots coming from, you're gonna regress to see the situation. And the same guys that you guys are talking about, they came right back to Vaughn's side. And if you could tell in the footage, after the shooter that shot Vaughn got shot from the back, which people thinking it came from somewhere else, it came from the back. He got shot from the back. If you look at the footage, he tried to walk back to the car and he got shot and he tumbled back. He still had his weapon in his hand. So while they progressing to Vaughn, he's swinging the weapon like this. People was regressing back, but everybody was still alert to go get Vaughn because clearly it took 4 or 5 people to bring Vaughn into the car to bring him to the hospital.
Is there any truth to any of the rumors that the person who was still like entangled with Vaughn after he got shot was, even though they might have been scuffling before, he was trying to help Vaughn?
He was screaming, yo, he shot, Vaughn shot,
so
Vaughn shot. I'm not too sure how much he tried to help, but I do know he was screaming, he shot. Could have been from a panic stage, could have been from instinct, not sure. He was just screaming that he shot.
Okay,
man. So
when we talking about some of these narratives,
so that was what happened. This is from the account of somebody that was right next to King Von that entire night. You know, he was in the car with Von. He was even one of the people that were shot, man. So this is crazy, man. This is real crazy. I think, man, y'all let me know what y'all think about this whole situation, man. Rest in peace, King Von. I feel like this whole situation could have easily been avoided, man. I don't even feel like they even needed to fight that night. I feel like this whole thing could have easily been avoided. I feel like if they would have stayed at the original club, even if they would have just went to this club, you know, just kept it mutual, you know, you ain't had to say nothing to nobody, you know. But obviously, you know, I don't really know how deep rooted the issues with Von and Quando, you know, what they had going on with each other, man. But I just feel like a lot of this could have easily been avoided. I think it was all unnecessary. And now, you know, there's people that are dead from this, people that are in custody from this, people that are still in the hospital and healing from this, man. It's a tragic situation all the way around, man. But y'all sound off in the comment section down below. I'll leave a link down below in the description to this full interview. It's about an hour long. I kind of tuned into like the last 20 minutes of it and caught, you know, a lot of stuff. And it's actually a really good interview. You guys should really watch it. You know, he talked about King Von's loyalty with his guys, and, you know, all the assumptions that people were saying that his guys went to King Von's house and took a lot of stuff, man. He shut all the rumors down. He actually spoke on Asian Doll and everything. Link down below in the description. This is actually a very good interview, man. Prayers up to everybody in OTF, man. King Von's family and friends and everybody, man. If y'all new to the channel, y'all rock with me, want daily reaction videos and hip-hop news, hit that subscribe button, follow me into the next video. I'll see y'all then. Thank you for watching MANIACITV TV. I'm out.
I ain't gotta do too much. I swear that these niggas, they be doing too much. I ain't gotta